Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
World Monuments is this hodgepodge of games. The first part of it, you have these tiles based on what building you're going to be building, and you're moving your character around, picking up tiles, and you may get the colors you want, and you may not get very useful colors. That's important because if you don't use something, if you don't use one of those tiles, then it's going to be negative points for you. And the second part of each round is you're going to be building the actual building and taking turns putting tiles out. It's not very good 2-player. With 4-player, it gets a little bit more chaotic. So it depends on what you want. There are decisions to be made here. It's a fine game. It's fine. It's okay. And I think that some people who kind of like this light abstract thing will like it. But for me, I mean, when you compare this, and what I'm doing here in this channel is I'm comparing games to other games. I'm saying, is this good enough to keep or is it a purge? I just don't feel like this game stands out. Does it have good decisions? Sure. I think moving around that board, it can really be a mind cluster because you got to think about where you want to go, where people are going to go, and what tiles you're picking up. And you would think always picking up tiles is good, but it's not if it's not useful because it's negative points, blah, blah, blah. And then when you place them, you got to think, well, if I place this, I might never get to place another purple. So where do I want to go on this board? Interesting decision. So, this is not a negative review of this game. I think the game gives you decisions. I think they're light, but I think they're there. I think they're interesting, but not interesting to me. So for me, it's going to be a purge because it's just so blah, and the games look like blah. So you're building Taj Mahal, but when you build it, it doesn't look like the Taj Mahal. You put 4 tiles up on each side, and you put a little in the middle. I don't know that I ever feel like I'm actually building the Taj Mahal. I'm not going out and getting resources except for this little light thing on the side at the beginning. If you like abstract games like this and you want something light, maybe to play with your kids, you introduce them to abstract or family level abstract. This is one of the better ones that I like that actually tries to have a theme, and you have this 2-part that's going on and they kind of work together and they're congruent and that works and that's neat. But this isn't something that I want to play. It doesn't pull me in. It doesn't give me the decisions I want. I need something a little bit deeper for something like this. And I don't really feel like I'm building what they're telling me that I'm building. So it's that fun part is taken out for me. So for me, this one's going to be a purge. But what I'm saying is that if you like this sort of thing, you might want to check out. But it will not be staying in my collection. Here's World Monuments, which I think is a very attractive cover. You have the Capitol building, the Taj Mahal, whatever it is you're building here. But you can see that what it would look like in real life. And this is what it looks like in the game. So it's a really neat representation of actually what you're going to be doing. When you open up the box, you're going to see a little board that you'll be utilizing. Very, very nice quality by Queen art on both sides. You're going to get a rule book, which we'll look at in a few minutes, but it's a very simple rule book. And you have these very, very attractive player boards. So for the 4 things you can build. So you have 4 different boards that you'll be utilizing in the game of what you're building, but the artwork on the back was a nice touch. So you're going to get 4 of these. These are very thick cardboard, like I said, very nice. You're going to get a number of these chunky wooden tiles of different colors. Very, very great. You're going to have a bag, which you'll be drawing from. This is just generic, but it's nice and big. And you're going to have these player boards that you will build for each of the players. Very, very nice. And have player aid on the inside. I'll show you what these look like when we build those. Components are nice, but you can absolutely see inside that you didn't need a box this big whatsoever. Here's the rule book. What you're going to see on the front is components and setup with plenty of pictures. Great job, Queen. They always do a great job on their rule books. You're going to see how you kind of construct this and how things will be. A little bit of an overview there. Then when you open it up, you'll see the first part of the game, which will be getting the tiles from the quarry. And then you're going to the second phase where you're actually placing them down to build the buildings. And then the last page tells you what happens, how you score it in the end of the game and kind of how that works. Very simple rule book. Queen always does these gigantic books, color-coded, which is really nice. And they just always do a fantastic job. You're going to have one of these QR codes that you can utilize here if you want to see the digital games they have. There's kind of advertisements where they're selling those. But fantastic job as they normally do. So let me give you a quick overview of how the game works. What you're going to find here is 1, 2, 3, 3 rounds to every game. And this is the number of tiles that you'll seed in here. So you kind of know what is going to be in here and what you'll be utilizing each round in order to perfectly build this. This is the quarry. This is where you're going to place your tiles and people will be utilizing this to play. And I'll show you how this looks like all set up. Here's the game all set up. If something is different, the rule book will tell you, but otherwise you're going to randomly put 1 of these out, and this second you'll have 2, and in the middle you have whatever is left over. The first player will take him, and he can move him anywhere on the outside of the board and take that tile. The second person can move 2 spaces, But you always have to end on an outside board and take a tile. The third person will be able to move 3. Say he wanted to come over and take this. And the fourth person would move 1, 2, 3, 4. And you would take a tile from each place that you move through. And then after that, everybody can move 4 spaces around the board. The only trick is you always have to end on the outside, and you can pick up from anyone that you walk through, so you can have these. So what do these tiles do? The blues do nothing but give you 3 victory points at the end of the game. The black allows you to be the first player. It doesn't do anything else for you. The rest of these are going to be ones that you'll be putting out on the board. Once this is empty and everybody's taken everything that'll happen, you will shift to the second phase of the game. This is the second phase of the game where people will be building the tower. And what you'll be doing is you'll be placing out 1 tile at a time, beginning with the first player, whoever took the black one. And what you're going to be doing is building this. You can see here that these are the spots that you'll be building the tower at. You will see here the colors that are associated with it. So here on each of the towers around, you'll need a purple with a red, white, and yellow. In the middle, it's purple, red, white with yellow kind of in the center of it. So if I was a first player, I would play a purple, and I would get 1 point for doing level 1. If the next player goes and he has a red, well, maybe he would play it on top of the purple, because that means that he would score 2 points, and he would score more points for the higher level. If the next player came along and he built a white, he would get 3 points because it's the third level, and so on and so on. Or strategically, I might want to place this over here and just get 1 point that I know what I have and what I want to give up. When you have to pass, that's fine. You just pass because you can't play anything. And any tiles you have left over will be negative 1 point, except for the blue and black ones. They're not worth any negative points. The blues are only worth 3 at the end of the game. And that's how that's going to work. You have a score track around it. After 3 rounds, everybody passes or the building has been built. The game will end. You will see who has the most points. The only points at the end of the game are the blues, and the winner is the one with the most points. Who should buy this game? This is a light family game that I think that abstract fans in the family atmosphere may actually enjoy quite a bit. It will be for people 2 to 4 players that just want something maybe they can chat over. Decisions are very hard. It's very easy to play. Non-gamers can get into this. You don't mind that there's really not a thing. They tell you you're building buildings, but you really never feel like it. And it does kind of give you that mind twist that you're going to want of, I got to get this, but it depends on what everybody else gets. Is it going to work out for me? Because if I get negative points, I don't want to get negative points. What do I do? Do I take the black one because it gives me first player? A lot of things going on. I'm probably making it sound more interesting than it is. Try this one before you buy. For me, it's going to be a Purge, but it's a game that works and it's not terrible at all. This is what I would probably say a fine to good game. You know, maybe a 5.5 to a 6.5 on the BGG scale. But is that good enough to stay in our collection nowadays? For me, it's not. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.